Buddy, um, thought I'd do another video. Honestly, I don't always do videos because I have no idea what to do a video about. Um, but I thought of something. I was gonna go hit a base tonight, and as I was clearing out their fleet, I had my my blitzing fleet hid underneath another base. Well, that guy, I guess, had his ships out already. So he ignored the battle I was fighting in, and he went and attacked these ships. And honestly, the range of these is so short. If you have any skills at all in driving, you can always outrange them. Even when I started to try to net him, he was actually pretty good. So he took him out. And then the game, I don't know if you've seen it, where you come out of a battle and your map won't load. You just get water, and that's what I had. So he actually re-engaged and finished them off. So I decided, oh, well, I'm going to send these guys home, and then started repairing them. And didn't even have enough to build my next rocket because I was just about like one shot away from losing. I was like, all right, fine. Let me see if I can bunker buster his Seawolves. I was really close to hitting them too, because that's damn near impossible, because you have to project where they're going to be in like the next 10-15 seconds. So what I thought I would do is somebody asked me a question about base design, and I'll show you the one tweak that I did recently, and then I thought we would go through. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I got like about 118 people on my Battle Pirates sort of friend list, and I thought I'd go through some of the higher level ones and just talk about the things that are good and the things that could be improved, so you can get some ideas for your own base. One tweak that I did was I really did not like the fact that my rocket launcher was out there exposed. So what I did was I moved it here, and what that meant was I had to remove these wall pieces to shift this forward and use another piece of land right here. And I took that piece of land from this corner right here, because what I figured is, if this is snipeable from here, which already existed, then this is snipeable from here. So if it's snipeable from one, it is from the other. So there's no I don't think there's any loss by taking a piece of land from right there. Okay, it is blinking. For some reason I was thinking, am I even recording? So anyway, we'll go through a couple bases. I'll sort of show you. This is that guy that's tested my base a couple of times. He kind of mixes his base up a lot, but he's kind of sticking to one central theme, and that is he doesn't really expect the turrets to kill traditional ships. He expects his ships to kill traditional ships. He expects the turrets to deal more with like blitzing sort of ships. So notice he has 1, 2, 3, 4 bombards, 1, 2, 3, 4 flak, and then the rest all short range sort of stuff. And it's his dreads and his Goliaths that are really there to protect everything, and everything else is pretty much far away from whatever. He doesn't go with the whole resource generator thing. I'm going with the and you can tell these are level 1s, all fortified up. That's kind of the route I'm going to go. I'm going to have all the resource generators, but I'm going to leave them all at level 1s and then work on fortifying them up. Fortified or unfortified, a strong base fleet doesn't matter. It's going to take it out in one volley anyway. And that's what I found in some testing with somebody. I had something like an oil rig or something that was level 10 all fortified, and then I had another one that was like level 1 all fortified, and it was basically like, if they all connected, it was one volley and it was dead. So I'm like, I'm not going to spend the effort leveling them up. There's almost no reason to fortify it if you just don't have anything else to do with your building ability. Michigan Marauder, this is actually the base I copied. So the biggest design difference here is like, well, he's been playing a while, so he went with the let's fortify everything and rank everything up route. But this base looks a little familiar, and you can see what's the one thing repairing. That's why I don't want mine out there. This one, Ahmad, he I just looked at his base earlier. This looks like a very hard base to blitz. So you come in here and you have the trick for blitzing is you need like 3 or 4 Cerberus. And I know people on the YouTube are saying I'm probably saying it wrong. I don't really care. But there's one here, there's one here, one here, and one here. The trick is you don't want a pinch to be able to take out more than one of them. So if you put a pinch here, he's not going to get both of these. If you can't pinch both of these, you know, and then if you put, oh, I wish you would even tell me what it was. If you if that's Siege Mortar S on these two, then you have a splash weapon that has a pretty high rate of fire relative to other splash weapons. And then probably the more traditional missiles, thuds. If he only has 4, oh, he has a stalker. And you got something right here, some sort of stalker. His thing is really, he's kind of a bigger issue with traditional fleets. I would say a mortar fleet would probably be the best to take out his base. This one is okay. I got a couple issues with this one. A hodgepodge of guns. It's just a hodge. I mean, it's almost all the same, but it's just a hodgepodge. 2 mortars. 2 mortars don't do anything to anybody. If you even have hailstorms that are of a lower caliber, you're still going to eat up 2 mortars. So if you're just going to have 2 mortars, I'd say just don't bother. No, there's another one, 3rd. You're going to be in the minimum range of that so quickly. The trick to this base is you just if you got reactive armor, you just run in. Or you could take out with a cheap fleet, you could take out these 3 from down here while you're taking out the stalkers. I don't know if the stalkers move or not. They might be able to tell me. Okay, this stalker moves. Okay, so they're not all going to show. They were all turned this way. It's just an image thing that hasn't loaded. Gunboat's not going to help your defense fleet. Only if you're maxed out on weight would that be a good idea. Otherwise, pick something else. Put a ship right there of something. I don't see how these missiles help anybody in any way. I'm assuming they're to help with rimming. My thoughts on subs as base defense fleets, they can't shoot through land. So, you know, if you're here, this guy's in range, but he can't shoot you until you're here. Alright, so in my opinion, subs, the only thing good subs have is that they once they're visible, your ships are really going to want to shoot at them. And when they pop up, your ships are really going to want to shoot at them. So, you know, they deflect some shots, but they don't do much damage, per se, in my opinion. And if they move, then a smart person taking the base will deal with them out here. So, I don't particularly like this base. I think it could use improvement, and all this random. A lot of these pieces are just random. You just had no idea what to do with them. Jeff, who's Jeff? This is an older. What level is he? 33. Oh, this is so blitzable. One Cerberus. 2 mortars. You're protected reasonably well from a missile fleet. If this has a long range, this should have the explosive panels. This should probably have a long range panel. If that's true, then this should be bunker bustered, and this one should be taken out with mortars. I think this is a mortar fleet that you should take this base with, or a blitzer fleet. You can pinch this and run right on by, and never take a shot from this, because you're not dealing with a turn. You're not dealing much of a turn. If you got a fast ship, this is not a turn, people. This is a wiggle. Slow ships actually turn. Fast ships just wiggle. I'm assuming he moves barely. He does not move. He moves a little. Okay, so you could if you send in a prep fleet, you would send them in and realize a couple of them moves. You'd send a prep fleet up here to deal with a couple of these ships first. Plenty of room. Plenty of room. I think that's should be plenty of room. So none of this is snipeable, which is good. He's down to 3. Don't I have 4? Okay, now you got me questioning myself. He's down to 3 warehouses. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. You really have to do a lot of refitting. If you're done with all of your major upgrades, maybe. You might have to bring it back just to... Oh. Can anybody say assault mortar? Not many people have them. But... Oh. Okay. Here's something. These are siege cannons. Alright, you're allowed to move. You're allowed to move. You're allowed to move. Okay, so you will leave the base, and you will leave it very easily. Subs will take out this one. Isn't that just Hailstorm? Hailstorm with a ship that moves. That doesn't make any sense at all. And this one will move barely to the edge of the base, but basically subs can take out this one and this one and this one. And if you have an assault mortar fleet, which most people don't, but that has been talked about on the forums recently, if you have an assault mortar fleet, they take out these things pretty strong, pretty easily, especially if you just have layered armor, because you're probably going to be dealing against thud versions of these guys, which will outrange you, so you're going to get shot. So have some guidance scrambler and have some layered armor, and you could take a pounding from these guys, and then you return fire with assault mortars. Because they're so slow, they're not going to get out of the way of an assault mortar. Then after you do that, base is not that hard. Everything's clumped together, so you shoot this one, and you're really going to be taking out this is mortars. You shoot this one, you're going to be taking out all of these at the same time. Come down and shoot this one. Actually, you could probably just aim at this one, and you'll kill this one, and some of these around it. And then you're in. This is in my opinion not a hard base, even though it looks intimidating. It's a couple choice fleets. Kudas be great for a couple of these, and then even assault missiles. An assault missile for this one is perfect. Assault missiles will definitely outrange a siege cannon with the extended range. So honestly, assault missiles would take out all of these. You just have to keep moving away with this one and this one, but that's fine. Oh, I don't like that one. Who was that? Was that Kevin? So what do we have here? We have Joseph. So it's a very busy looking base, isn't it? So you're going to come in, ignore that one, take out this one, this one, this one. You got 4 mortars. Does that show me range? Nah, I wish they would show me range. You actually have 5 mortars, but this one is so far away that you're not really going to get to it. All of them are going to be in range when you're like in here. Nah, I don't know. The only things that slow you down are these 3 guns right here. Okay, he's going with mortars on this one, mortars on this one. He's going to bring it in, and then what are these, missiles? These look like missiles, but they move. So I want to come in from here and prep some of these ships out first. This you could test. This might not be. If you could fit, yeah, you can't fit another wall in there. That might be safe. If this was right against that wall, you probably could get that. But since it's pulled away from the wall, I think you're okay. One flak, which to me screams missile fleet, because a bunko buster against that flak better have explosive armor. But it being so far back and only having one, it probably has the extra salvos. So I don't like the fact that his only slowing down guns are all clumped together. Because by the time if you took a mortar shell, right, by the time it took out this one's 70% dead already. Alright. It doesn't matter how many times this thing takes out. By the time you kill this one, the one you aim for, the one next to it's about 70% dead. So, but he does have 5. He does have all 5 warehouses. He has advanced lab, which 33 is probably very little, probably nothing he cares about in the advanced lab. And he has that in there. So, that's well and protected, although he lets it move. The hell would you want that to move? That should stick still. That should stay in place. This one should probably stay in place, even though it's going to get sniped. Probably get moved here and then stay in place. Let's see, Bill, 33. So we got 3 of these guys, 4 of these. These are separated. 1, 2 flaks. That has like no value. If it has extended range, it's helping to protect these guys. Missile, do you move? Nope. Nope. Just a little bit. You move, but you're also ballistics. I would say rippers. And you wiggle. That's about as much as you do. What you want to bet? Okay, here's a pro and con. He's probably got like 1 wall away. You could do it here. You could, if you're good, you can hit that. And the trick is, once you start firing at it, click that wall right there, and your ships will stop moving. And then you can finish firing at it. That one actually is far enough away, I think. This one, I think you could get at. And this one I think you could get at, because that looks like 3 waters. But the problem is you're going to keep moving, so you're going to have to keep circling around. It's going to be annoying as hell, but it's doable. But my personal theory is, if you don't actually have a problem with that, and the rest of your base is working fine, let the rest of your base work fine, and fix that problem when it really becomes a problem. He is double walling off everything, which is interesting. He is trying to get that initial stop for the mortars to work, which is reasonable. His blitz potential though is you pinch this and you let your blitz ships get hit by that, and then you're in. So it's still very blitzable. And then once you're in the back, it's really easy to clean everything up because there are no walls back here. I would say move the center crap out. Well, no, if you put walls in here, then you can actually stop on the wall. Yeah. Okay, let's just go to the next guy. Let's see what we got. Oh, this is the I've seen this one. This one's starting to show up a lot more. This is becoming a popular design. So you come in and you have to deal with basically 1 to 2 ships here, and your main initial stopping point that you force them to stop is right here. I've seen some variations on how this little part, and this little part all play out. Nice. So it's got 4 mortars. What's that? That looks like missiles, assault missiles. Thuds. Is that assault missiles? I think so. That looks like a mixture of assault missiles and thuds. Only 4 ships. If he's only got 4 ships. So you're gonna get rained down on missiles pretty much. This is the patrol range, but I think assault missiles and Goliaths are just a little bit bigger than these rings. So you're gonna come in about here and you're gonna get shot at by 4 mortars, assault missiles, thuds to stop here. By the time you stop here, you might get picked up. Probably not. You might get picked up by that guy, and you might not. I'm not really sure. Let's see, if you're gonna blitz, you're gonna pinch. I would pinch this one because this guy is already kind of tucked away. So when you blitz in, you actually want to come as high up as you can and way up out here, and just so you can actually just stay out of the range. Or if you can prep it where you can get rid of one of these, then you blitz these guys. I mean, pinch these guys. Problem is that he's got so much wall right here, he's forcing you to either take these warehouses right here, which these two still cover, or skip them and only get this, and this. But if they're totally full, that's fine. I think he should switch it and put his this right there, or here. And that way make them come back onto the Cerberus if they really want the rocket launcher. I'd rather lose some resources than lose the rocket launcher. Hello. Well, thank you. I bet all of these guys move. Oh, piece of poo. The reason I'm not doing any fighting tonight is I'm tired of the map not loading. Okay. Let's see, who are we on? We were on LJ. and we were going to look at this, but all these guys move. That's a missile with hailstorm. They move, they move, they move. Okay, well, if you really don't like this guy, you fight all of these guys right here. You clear out all of those ships first, and then you treat the base as though it doesn't have a defend fleet. And there's no royal buildings except for these couple, so you're not even going to be dealing with the 25% when you're fighting in this little area down here. Because they're not going to leave, and then when you come up to range, they're just going to turn around and come right back in. So what do we have otherwise? No Serbs. So it's highly blitzable. Probably don't even have to pinch anything. You just run on in. Yeah, you just run on in. You don't even have to do anything. 1, 2. It's only 3 mortars. All that says is if you come in my base, you have to have something with hailstorm or hailstorm. I don't care what you got, but you just can't send in a fleet that's totally all guns. Okay, I really do not like flak being one of the first things you encounter, because you can kill this, then you can kill the flak, and you can bunker buster this one. You can work yourself. You can just even use assault missiles. If you come in here, take out this one, then take out this one. You're going to take some fire from this guy, but that's the only thing you're going to take fire from. So a little reactive armor with some assault missiles, and you're fine. Or hell, just some armor with assault missiles, and you're fine. You'll work through this one, and you'll work through this one, and you'll probably time out within 5 minutes. And a quick bunker buster, and you can come in here with missiles very, very easily. So blitzing comes in very easy, missiles comes in very easy, mortars I think you could work yourself through it. I think he'll kill some people because he does have at least all of these fire all about the same point. It has issues. I got a feeling that might be reachable. That is reachable. That's right on the water. That you can reach that one. Y'all don't want to see his base. That's a piece of crap. We'll just see a couple more. I'll call it done. So what does this guy have? Scattering of every, oh my gosh, they're all just scattered everywhere. What do you got? Those look weird. That must be like Maelstrom, or some of those rockets. Must be, because I have no idea what those things are. I have never seen those in my life. But I've never seen the rockets on a ship either. That's gotta be like a Dud fleet or something. That looks like mortars. That looks like missiles. That looks like siege cannon. Nice little hodgepodge. The siege cannon is a lot of move some. If you pick up on that when you're prepping, then deal with that one, because that one's going to hurt way more than the rest of these guys. But as far as like a traditional fleet coming in is going to prep this. They're going to come in and they're going to actually, I would come in actually right here to prep this one. And when you hit this one, you hit this one, this, and this. Then if you have time, work yourself into this one. soon as you're coming in, next thing that actually stops you is this one. You could actually sit. You deal with these two as you're coming into them, but you outrange both of these. Well, you might not. Does Hard Barrels 3 out thuds on a Floating Fortress outrange mortars? I don't know. Go look it up. You definitely outrange that one. That one probably has 2 mortars on it, but ignore that. Because if you're sitting, after you kill off these 3, you can sit right here and these 2 won't fire. You don't really care. So the nice thing, he has 5 mortars, but they're so segregated that he really has 2 mortars and 3 mortars. They're not 5 mortars. He has 2 and 3. And fighting the base, there's only 1 bombard and only 1 flak. So missiles have it easy going here to deal with all of this. The only thing I have to deal with is this one. And what I find is that people that only have 1 flak use the extra salvos. Okay, that screams bunker buster. I don't see the point in 2 sentinels. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I really don't see the point in it. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. If he really wanted that, he could get rid of that. Those at least are double walled. So he's got one of these guys. That's it. On a single wall. But you do have to deal with them too. A blitz fleet's gonna come right on in. Okay. Let's do one more. Let's look at them. So Adam has, the heck is that? Oops. It doesn't matter, it won't stick. I've talked to him before. For some reason I'm thinking those are assault mortars. I don't remember what they are. Looks like a couple of siege cannons on that guy. That's allowed to move. Missiles? Assault missiles? Looks like some thuds. Where are your guns at? Hold on. Okay, so he has 3 back there, which will fire down here. So he has 2 and 2. It doesn't have 4, he has 2 and 2. He only has 4 right about here. Problem is you can prep a couple of this away. Yeah. I think you can prep this reasonably well. That's safe. That's safe. The dock's not safe, but the rest of it is. But most people's docks are not safe. It's 5. So if he really wanted to protect that, he could. I would maybe at least like put double walls in between them. The walls, from everything I hear, it doesn't do anything. It just helps reinforce the spacing. But double spacing means the splash is reduced. So okay. So those are just a couple different bases. And you notice that every single one of them was very different from each other, except for the one that I copied. Um, and some of them had some cool things, and some of them had some hard things. And you know, you just have to try stuff and then see other people's bases. And when you go hit bases, what I tell people to do is like, listen, you know, if you're in a sector you don't like and you're looking to relocate, then you know, the day before you relocate, just take a gunboat, Seawolf, doesn't matter what it is, and go into everybody's base. If you're not going to come back to this place, just go into everybody's base. Take screenshots of everybody's base. Everybody that's like a high level, everybody that's hit you, everybody that you've ever heard of is any good. Just go in their bases, take screenshots, see, and then you know, you can worry about what it looks like later. Or if you have like a video recording software, that's actually way easier, because then you can just scroll around their base and pop right back out, and that's actually a whole lot faster. And then you just watch the you can just pause the recording later to actually get an actual screenshot. And you can get an idea of a bunch of different bases. What you'll tend to find though is people that are in a sector for a long time have similar style bases, because they find people in the sector that that had a reasonable base, and then so other people started copying it or copying something like it. And I was in a sector one time, and they had this basically an island with a ring around it type design, and they really loved mortars. Well, a hammerhead can outrun mortars as long as they all stay tight in a group, and they don't and they don't lag from each other, and they don't stop. So I took out I took 500% from a base that had nothing but VMs, and with slide loader 3s, so at all VMs, all slide loader 3s, and I got no damage. And granted, I did hit the base another time and got stuck on a wall and was totally dead. So you know, take it as it might. But you could take that base with Seawolves. You could take that base with anything with any reasonable speed. The trick is that you just can't stop at all. You have to keep moving. So I would target, and I didn't actually get all the warehouses, because that would have meant I would have to stop to continually fire at from one position. So I skipped one warehouse just so I could keep moving. So, but you know, just look around, get ideas. I am not a good base designer. Every base that I've ever done, I've always copied. I've either got them from that Curtis Smiley on the forums. That was an older design of mine. Sneaky Bitch from 217. I copied the prior design from. This one was from Michigan Marauder. You know, pretty much every base I've ever done is based off of, is either it usually starts out as an exact copy, and then I will tweak it to my needs, tweak it to how I want it. And so, like I started tweaking just a little bit, and you know, I'll do stuff over time. So so that's just some tips about base design. I really didn't like the guy that went down to 3 warehouses, because you're at 32, and oh, I can't see in there. I bet you I might be able to see some stuff in here though. I think I got a couple of things left in here. Will it tell me? Tell me. So this thing is going to cost 30. That you can't do that with 3 warehouses. Now I got to find something that I'm not done yet. 26. That's not too bad. 24. My gut's going to tell me that the higher ends of these guys are going to be quite expensive and kind of going to be hard to do with only 3 warehouses. You might have to overload it from starting a ship and then stopping it, and you know, that little trick you do to overload your warehouses. But that's going to get annoying really fast. If you hit bases, protect your rocket launcher. If you don't hit bases, you know, then who cares? Leave it out there. My theory on fortifying, to fortify your warehouses first, your outpost second. Actually, you might want to fortify your dock first, and then your warehouses, then your outpost, and then your. I don't think I started fortifying that yet. Rocket launcher. I do not want to fortify my buildings. I would rather them melt to count towards the 25% faster. That's my opinion. Because, and honestly, when people are going to hit the base, they're not going to stop to make sure they finish these, because that's not their primary target. They're only going to stop to finish them if they're really trying just to do a 100% run on you. Fortify your radio tower. I'll tell you why. Because this puppy is freaking strong and takes quite a bit of hits before it dies. So it's a nice little decoy sort of thing. It's a trick I learned from somewhere, either on the forums or somebody in a sector. And then I'll fortify the resource generators as I'm bored. So I've been bored 4 times. I actually started doing this, and then the this doohickey machine came out. The tactical lab. I haven't really talked about tactical lab. The tactical lab, I don't know. There's some stuff to make ships slow down, stuff to make you not take damage. Something else about subs. Oh, about being able to force subs to come up. Woohoo! Sonar and assault missiles. That's not even necessary. I don't know. I'm gonna I think I'm doing level 2 right now. I'm gonna upgrade it. I'm gonna research stuff. I'm waiting to see people use it before I put any real value into it. I'm not coining it at all. I did move it up just a hair to be under the flak, because I did have it right here. And so I was adding days to it every time somebody would come in my base. So that's basically what's going on. Oh, my first Goliath finished. Started my second one. And these are set up like the way I auto 29s and 25s. So I'm gonna set up like 3 or 4 of these suckers, and then rank them up, and then tweak them to, I don't know, something. I'll do something with them. I will at least have 4 ships. It might be I'm gonna start with 3 Goliaths. It might be that I do 3 Goliaths and one of the Harry Potter ships, depending on what's necessary, and then 1 roamer. Because the problem is these 4 are well protected. Doesn't matter where I put another one. It's not well protected at all anywhere. I think the Michigan Marauder guy, he had all 5 down in here, but I think that you could actually snipe off the edges of both of them. This one's actually would be really hard to snipe off because the flak's gonna be helping you out. So so that's what's going on. I'm gonna do this just because why not? But I have no general plan yet. I have no feelings either way. I know that what you stick on those suckers are freaking heavy, which is good because it really makes you think about using it. Otherwise, everybody would use it. People were talking about, oh, well, it's going to be. Some people saying, oh, it's going to be too heavy for a blitz fleet. I can't do this. Go into, I think the site's down right now, but go into the Ultimate Shipyard and try a and I don't think this might not exist in there yet. But you could probably find out from forums how much weight you're dealing with on those suckers for the thingy that makes it so you don't take a lot of damage. And then do 4 battle cruisers with engines, guidance scrambler, AA armor, AA special, explosive armor, and then rippers. Or if you don't want rippers and want siege cannons, you could do 4 siege cannons and then do the larger evade armor. That fits as well. Do 4 of those and then one of the Harry Potter ships, and that might be a freaking awesome blitzer at that point. So I don't know, because the battle cruisers, they don't weigh a whole lot. they're pretty light machines. They're pretty light ships. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye.